Welcome back to Essence of Books, Books Explained Simply. In Part 1, we explored something deeply human. Why rethinking feels uncomfortable. Why many of us resist changing our minds, even when evidence is clear. We saw how beliefs slowly become part of our identity. How ideas that once helped us succeed can quietly turn into invisible barriers. And how clinging to certainty can feel like strength, even when it's actually holding us back. Today, in Part 2, we shift our focus. Not from why rethinking is hard, but from why rethinking is essential. Because in a world that never stops changing, the ability to rethink is no longer optional. It is a survival skill. Through real-world examples, psychology, and scientific thinking, we'll explore how rethinking fuels innovation, protects against failure, and helps individuals and entire organizations adapt to change instead of being crushed by it. Because in today's world, the greatest risk is not change. The greatest risk is standing still. BlackBerry versus Apple, the cost of not rethinking. Let's begin with a powerful real-world example. In 2009, BlackBerry was unstoppable. Nearly half of all smartphones in the United States were BlackBerry devices. Its physical keyboard was iconic. Its security was unmatched. Its brand was trusted by governments, executives, and corporations worldwide. If you were important, you owned a BlackBerry. From the inside, success felt permanent. BlackBerry's leaders believed they had already won. And when success feels permanent, questions start to disappear. They didn't ask, what could be better? They asked, how do we protect what we already have? That one shift in mindset made all the difference. At the same time, another company was asking a very different question. What if a phone could be more than a phone? Ironically, even Steve Jobs initially resisted the smartphone idea. He worried it would distract Apple from its core products. He feared it would dilute focus. He believed people didn't need a phone with advanced features. But instead of clinging to certainty, he did something rare. He reconsidered. Apple didn't defend its past success. It challenged it. They rethought everything, how people interact with screens, whether physical keyboards were necessary, how software and hardware should work together, how design shapes emotion and experience. They didn't ask, how do we improve the old phone? They asked, what should a phone become? They didn't refine the past. They reimagined the future. The result was the iPhone. By 2014, BlackBerry's market share had fallen to less than 1%. Apple, meanwhile, didn't just dominate the market. It reshaped communication. It transformed work. It changed entertainment. It altered culture itself. Adam Grant captures this lesson clearly: success breeds overconfidence. And overconfidence kills innovation. BlackBerry didn't fail because it lacked intelligence. It failed because it stopped questioning its own success, thinking like a scientist. So how do we avoid the BlackBerry trap? Adam Grant offers a powerful solution. He calls it the scientist mindset. A scientist doesn't say, I'm right. A scientist says, this is my best explanation so far. That single phrase changes everything. Because it replaces certainty with curiosity. Scientific thinking rests on 3 core habits. First, humility. Humility means admitting what you don't know. Recognizing that knowledge is incomplete. Accepting that today's understanding may need revision tomorrow. Humility isn't weakness. It's accuracy. Second, curiosity. Curiosity means asking better questions. Instead of defending old answers. Not asking, how do I prove myself right? But asking, what else could be true? Curiosity keeps the mind flexible. Defensiveness makes it rigid. Third, doubt. Not destructive doubt, but productive doubt. Using uncertainty as a tool, not a flaw. True education isn't about never changing your mind. It's about updating your beliefs. When better evidence appears, scientists don't fall in love with ideas. They test them. They challenge them. They expect theories to evolve, or to fail. And when they fail, learning begins. In contrast, many of us treat ideas like possessions. We protect them. Defend them. Attach our identity to them. But ideas are not who we are. They are tools. And tools must change. As the job changes. Why rethinking feels painful. If rethinking is so valuable, why is it so difficult? Because rethinking isn't intellectually hard. It's emotionally hard. It hurts our pride. It threatens our sense of competence. It challenges the image we have of ourselves. Rethinking forces us to say. One of the hardest sentences in the human language, I may have been wrong. Staying loyal to familiar beliefs feels safer. Even when those beliefs no longer serve us. Our brains are wired to avoid discomfort. So, we delay change. We rationalize failure. We defend outdated thinking. But avoiding short-term discomfort creates long-term consequences. BlackBerry avoided discomfort. Apple embraced it. One protected certainty. The other welcomed doubt. And only one survived. Growth often requires us to feel uncomfortable before we feel capable again. That temporary discomfort is the price of adaptation. Living like a scientist in daily life. Adam Grant doesn't suggest we become scientists in labs. He suggests we live like scientists. In everyday life. That begins with separating your identity from your ideas. You are not your opinions. Changing your mind does not erase your value. Next, it means challenging your own thinking. Instead of asking, why am I right? Ask, what might I be missing? Then, review decisions instead of defending them. Look back not to justify, but to learn. And finally, celebrate being wrong. Because being wrong means you discovered something new. When we stop defending ideas as part of who we are, we become more flexible, adaptable, resilient, creative. Rethinking doesn't weaken us. It prepares us. Final conclusion. Think Again is not just a book about learning. It is a book about survival. The greatest danger is not ignorance. It is arrogance. Not being wrong, but staying wrong. Progress belongs to those who question their certainty, update their thinking, and remain open to change. Sometimes, one rethought idea can change everything. Thank you for watching Essence of Books. If this video challenged your thinking, please like, share, and subscribe. Join us next time, as we continue exploring ideas that help us think and think again.